Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to our Let's Talk Business podcast. We are here live in the studio. I am pleased to present two very special people, two of AMOCO's finest, as our special guests. Before I introduce them, I would like to first thank our sponsors, AMOCO Federal Credit Union and Southwest Airlines. And as we get started, we are coming towards the end of February. And we're here to pay tribute to history makers. We realize that Black history is not just February. Black history is 365 days a year. And so I have here to my left two very special gentlemen, Mr. Ron Mullen and Mr. Javian Jackson. So welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We're glad to have you. We know that you guys are history makers in your own personal lives, and I just want to ask you, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then then Javen, and then we'll go into the questions.
Okay. So my name is Ron Mullen. I'm in part of AMOCO Federal Credit Union. I've been on the board for 16 years. I'm really involved in helping our community and getting people involved in the credit union movement to be able to help them and have a financial institution that's on their side.
Okay.
So I also work at a refinery. I've been there 31 years. I've been married 36 years.
Oh, wow.
And I got 3 boys, so I
Okay.
guess it comes in threes.
Okay.
You know? And very proud of those boys. They are educated, and 2 of them has graduated one from Sam Houston University, and my baby boy Chase, he's played basketball in Des Moines, Iowa, for 4 years at Grandview University. And these guys have got out and started their own thing and didn't get caught up in the traditional 9 to 5.
Yes.
They're out there blazing the trails and starting their own. So I'm very proud of that effort.
Okay.
And they seen a lot of that in me and his mom, in our family. So
Yes.
I'm just hoping that they continue to have that fire
Right.
and have their own and create their history.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
So, but very excited, very honored to be here, and as the kids say, chop it up a little bit.
Okay, we're indeed going to chop it up a little bit. Jamie, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, I'm Javian Jackson, and I'm pleased to be here to reintroduce myself. I've been employed at the credit union for the past 13 years,
Oh, wow.
and it's been a great honor to set an example, for the people in our community,
Yes.
and for them to even ask me, how did you get here, and for me to give them hope too.
Yeah.
Means a lot to me.
Absolutely.
For them to push forward in their lives and make good career decisions. I have 2 kids and a wife of my own
Okay.
that I'm blessed with, a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old that keeps
Okay.
me busy
I bet.
after AMOCO work hours are done,
Yes.
even during. But I'm here again. I'm with the Business Development / Culture and Communications Department,
Okay.
and it keeps me pretty busy in the community.
Okay.
Very community involved, where our members live, work, and worship.
Okay.
And I had great opportunities to connect with a lot of nonprofit organizations
Okay.
and businesses to let them know about AMOCO and see how we can help evolve our partnerships and also their involvement in the community along with ours.
Yeah. I think when you say partnership, that means a lot. And when you think partnerships and building relationships and making that connection with each other, and as we talked a little bit about this morning, some people say it's strength in numbers, but I think that if we're on the front lines and if we can connect shoulder to shoulder and move this thing, that's progression.
Yeah.
And so when you talk in terms of the partnerships with the nonprofits and those things, that is a setup for growth, and I so agree with you 100% on that. And a lot of times we think Black history, it's classic of us to think that it's those that have gone before us. It's those history makers in our history books.
Right.
It's those history makers that are deceased. And I think that we miss the mark when we don't realize that not all history is those that have gone before us. There is history being made every single day.
Yes.
You know, and it's not just those that are deceased. It is history that are people of color that are very much alive and well. And I sit with two of them right now. You know, so and that means a lot to me because, you know, when you talk about your sons and how well they've gone on to do, well, look at the example that they had. You know, so that's something for them to hold on to, and then for us as parents to gently nudge our children into their greatness because they see ours.
Yes.
You know, and so Ron, tell us a little bit about what does Black history mean for you?
Well, you know, traditionally, like you said, we want to talk about the past and what happened in the past, and our past is very important.
Yes.
We have had a lot of people that created legacies,
Yes.
and it should be honored,
Yes.
and we should look back on them for reference.
Yes.
You know, I look at Black history being, for me, is little Ronnie Mullen that grew up in Lamarck, Texas.
Come on.
That grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood. And I had, it was our family and two other families. And one of those households was a man that worked at the plant.
Okay.
And he worked at AMOCO.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
And he also was part of the board of directors for the credit union.
Okay.
And he also served as chairman of the board. So as a young man, I was able to watch him.
Yes.
Okay, and I looked at him as a mentor. But I was able to watch him. I watched him raise his family. I seen him drive very nice vehicles, have a nice home. Okay, but I seen him doing more.
Okay.
And little did he know, he didn't know I was watching him. Okay, and so what I found myself was mimicking him.
Okay.
Many years later, I was able to get a job starting at AMOCO. Many years later, I was able to be a part of the board of directors at the credit union.
Wow.
And this was something his family just loved that. His daughter was my classmate, and we still talk to this day. And she said, "Man, you did exactly what he was trying to get my brother to do, or his kids to do. It was following his footsteps." And I looked at him as a mentor. I looked at him as being successful. I looked at him creating history, and what I did, I referenced that history, and I followed it, and it got me into the doors of that refinery, and got me in the doors of the credit union.
And see, that's what I'm talking about. That is history. That is
Yes.
history.
Yes.
You know, somebody planted the seed.
Yes.
Somebody watered the seed,
Yes.
and now you're a product of that seed.
Definitely a product of the seed.
And certainly in great soil.
Yes.
Definitely in great soil.
Yes.
Javian, tell us a little bit about what is Black history for you. Make it personal. What is it for you?
You know, as I've become more involved in the community and meeting a lot of people, you notice that they've done a lot of things that hasn't been put on spotlight.
Okay.
And it's in their community involvement and the efforts that they put into, you know, keeping the community clean and safe. You know, that's everything to me.
Right.
You know, and as I learned things about, you know, Constable Rose, you know,
Yes.
Lamarck and Billy Williams.
Yes.
He's I'm sure you know
Yes,
those good
attorney
names.
judge. Yes.
Right, and you know, you come in contact with these amazing people and you learn about what they've done in the community. You also want to give them the opportunity to talk to the youth, and
Yes.
and you know, so they could have a opportunity to go back and reflect
Yes.
to people they can actually get advice from.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what Black history means to me, is to continue to look forward to people we can actually connect with that are here and alive, and also look at those in the past as an example.
Absolutely.
That is
So it's
awesome.
twofold: the past and the present.
Yes.
You know, Black history
Yes.
being the past and the present. Ron, talk about a little bit about your position at AMOCO Federal Credit Union and your journey with AMOCO from start to now.
Well, when I came in, my peers were very seasoned. The credit union movement, they've been involved for many years. I looked at it and I was always trying to feel my way. Where do I fit in this?
Okay.
And so I sit back for probably 5, 6 years, just taking in everything, and then I decided, okay, it's time for me to start sprouting. Where
Okay.
at that time, we were beginning to build more credit unions out
Okay.
there. We was trying to build our brand, make it bigger. We was wanting to help more people. And while I was involved with the credit union, I also became involved in the community as far as with different organizations. The Front Door Associate and Charity Club, which I
Yes.
was a chair there for probably about 12 years.
Okay.
And other organizations I've been a part of. But what I was able to do is definitely get involved on the ground floor is in building these other branches, and also reaching out people, giving them an opportunity to be able to say, hey, here Ronnie Mullen is. If you need me, call me.
Yes.
Okay, let me help you, and let us help you. And the platform I was given was AMOCO Credit Union, where they allowed me to help people and bring them guys in and get them tagged up with our management team. And I tell you, it's just been great things. We have just really grown really big, and I'm so excited to see where we're going to go,
Yes.
because we have put together a great foundation, and I think we're just going to build on it after that, and bringing in talent like this man sitting on the side of me.
Yes.
Just is a true testament of where we going, and I'm just excited about that.
Yeah.
And I can go back off of what he's saying. As long as we too have people like yourself, on our board, I know for sure that the credit union is going to go a long way, because you've made a great impact, with both the members and the employees.
Thank
So
you.
we definitely appreciate where you're taking the credit union, where you're taking the credit union.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe that history has been made, and again is being made, because just like Javian said, this is Javian. Let me just say that this is not his first time on the Let's Talk Business podcast.
I can tell.
So
He's
yeah,
just comfortable.
yeah. this is not his first time, but I think that Javian is, as I said to him earlier, is a very quiet giant.
Yeah.
He and I don't know him personally, but in the interactions that I've had with him, he's a person that he doesn't push the envelope, and he waits his turn.
Yeah.
So when it's my turn, I will speak.
Yeah.
And so, but I think that there is so much in him, and we're going to see it. I think that we
Yes.
have not seen the last of him. I think that we have not seen the best of him.
Right.
So as those things that are, for lack of a better word, that you are pregnant with,
Mm-hmm.
that are on the inside of you, that has not even give birth yet, I think that is history.
It is.
That is history, and so as you talk a little bit about your 13 years. You've been with AMOCO Federal Credit Union for 13 years.
Yes.
Talk about your journey to here.
Well, it's been a wonderful journey. How I entered the credit union was when I first was working retail,
Okay.
and by good customer service and being mannerable, what I was taught growing up, got me into where I'm at today.
Okay.
It's about having good manners.
Okay.
And from that day forward, I knew that it was going to change my life. My grandparents were happy.
Wow.
Whenever I told them, my whole family, it was something to celebrate.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I have to keep this job. I didn't see what they saw
Yes.
until I actually felt the experience
Yeah.
of working with AMOCO through the time. And, the love that I received from the credit union, the support that I received from the members, it was something for me to look forward to, wanting to work every day. Working at the front desk, I had a lot of young people ask me, even people that I know, like JV, I know where you come from. What are you doing here? And it's just, like I said, it's just how I was brought up, and how my family taught me to be respectful no matter who you come across, no matter
That's
how
right.
people treat you. So you want to treat people how you want to be treated.
Right.
And I've learned the role of leadership. I've always heard leadership, but when you actually learn it, and how to be active with it. You know, that's been a good part of my career here at AMOCO.
That's great.
So it's been a great journey. They've pushed me to be to a level, like you said, the quiet giant. You know, they pushed me to show my talents, to help me actually reveal my talents in ways that I didn't know that I had.
Okay.
That's really good.
I think that's very, very important, and it talks about the historic part of the family. You know, when Ron talked about, you know, was it your grandfather or your father? Or the gentleman that you mentioned that was
part of the credit union.
Yes.
Actually, it was just my neighbor.
Okay, your neighbor.
You know, just down the street.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, JV, when you speak about your grandparents and how they raised you, you know, some people, older people. I used to talk about the old people used to say, "But I'm the senior now, so I'm the senior citizen now." So you've heard seniors say, "He's been here before." There is just something about him. He's been here before, and they talk about how when your grandparents are very active and it's effective in your rearing, it shows through.
Yes.
It shows through, and
Yes.
so a lot of times we can see that in your spirit and in your demeanor.
Yeah.
So I think that's absolutely wonderful. We have since we have become are developing the relationship with AMOCO Federal Credit Union, there are so many people that we have encountered that say such great things. They say such great things about AMOCO Credit Union.
Yes.
They talk about how those that work there, like, oh, I'm never going to work anywhere else. I'm never leaving. I'm never leaving. And so when you think about corporate America and how there is just so much uneasiness and dissension and toxicity in the workplace,
Right.
and then you meet you guys and you talk about the great relationship and how great a company AMOCO is to work with, and how you've been there, you've tenured there all these years, it speaks for itself. And we see you guys as a product of that, because it definitely shows. So thank you guys so much. And again, we go back to history makers, and as we pay tribute to Black History Month.
That's right.
So let me ask you guys, we're gonna kind of switch gears a little bit. I'm gonna ask you a twofold question. What has been your greatest challenge as a member and an employee, and part of the AMOCO family? Because AMOCO, they refer to each other as family. I love that. It's our AMOCO family.
Right.
You know, so let's talk about in the AMOCO family. Tell us about what has been your greatest challenge and what has been your greatest accomplishments.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'll start that off.
Okay.
You know, so like I said, when I first came in as a volunteer,
Okay.
I started off on one committee, and that committee was like a area where you grew, and you would be promoted from that committee to the board of directors. Well, fortunately and unfortunately, I sit in that position 1 year before I was taken from that position to the board.
Okay.
And for me, it was like, okay, here we go. I'm the youngest of the board of directors. I think the next person close to me is probably 6-7 years. And these guys were so seasoned.
Okay.
And they were so in their silos of what they do.
Okay.
And even with the CEO, he came back to me years later. He said, "Man, it was just like you was, you just got caught up in there where you was lost a little bit." But I was never lost.
Okay.
I was always watching, and I was listening, and most of all, I was learning.
Yes.
And I was getting ready for my season.
Yes.
During that time, it just wasn't my season.
Right.
I just had to wait it out. And so the challenge was, finding out what my personal greatness was there.
Okay.
What I'm going to do for this organization, what I'm going to do to help our members. And I was on the groundbreaking of a lot of initiatives that we started with the love. When you hear people say they love AMOCO, they do, because
Yes.
that's the thing that we want and we promote
Yes.
is love.
Yes.
And we love all our members, every one of them, and we love each other.
Yes.
You know, and what we was able to do, one of the best things you could ever learn, one of your best assets is create a relationship. And that's what we did. We created relationships with each other, the employees, the management team, and our members. You know, and they love coming out. They love being around us, and we love to have them. So in the twofold, you said what was the greatest thing was my last 3 years sitting in the chairman position has been incredible. I mean, we've done so many great things for everybody. We also have grown so big. We're a $1 billion credit union now. And
Say that part again. Say
we
that part
are
again.
a $1 billion credit union.
Billion.
Yes, with a B. But we
Okay.
worked so hard as a group.
Yes.
It wasn't one person. It wasn't just Javion or his peers. It just wasn't the board. It wasn't just the management team. We had to genuinely work together.
Yes.
You know, that model of everybody working together. We had to work together to make that happen. And I tell you, the last 3 years we did a lot. I am so glad I was sitting in the chairman position to be able to be a part of the decision making.
Yes.
And a lot of things that we did it good. And what we're trying to do in this next phase is do it even better.
Yes.
You know, so
Yes.
very proud of the chairmanship and what we accomplished. So that was my highlight
All right.
for me.
All right. Well, kudos to you. Kudos to you, Ron Mullen, CEO. CEO and chairman of the board.
Yeah.
JV, and you tell us a little bit.
Okay. One of my greatest challenges, being at AMOCO was getting there.
Okay.
I know we talked about this a few minutes ago, but actually getting into the door and actually knowing that I belonged in such an environment
Oh, wow.
was a big hump for me getting over that challenge, a big jump for me.
Okay.
Because at that particular time in my life, I was actually searching for jobs
Okay.
and searching for something better.
Okay.
And, and through that, prayers were answered. Everything, that was a great challenge for me getting there.
Okay.
Believing in myself and having others believe in me.
Okay.
That opened up a lot of doors and a lot of confidence,
Okay.
within who I am.
Okay.
And as far as accomplishments, one of my greatest accomplishments, I'm doing it right now.
Okay.
Speaking to you all, sitting right next to Ron Mullins,
Yeah.
and to you, Ms. Bobby, it didn't just happen overnight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Ron was speaking about me earlier, it's just all the fact of hanging in there, continuing to be a great person, going the extra mile, doing your job, and that's what's got me here right now with you guys. It's a great accomplishment for me.
Yes.
That's awesome. Talk about JVN. Tell me about what did you feel in your heart, and what did you feel in your spirit when you got that call after the application process, after the interview, when you got that call. What was that like for you? And I'm asking that question because you said that was your biggest challenge. It's kind of like dream realized.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me a little bit about what that felt like for you, and what did it mean?
The process, it was good.
Am I getting too personal?
No.
Okay.
You actually, because you're taking me back,
Okay.
and it's taking me back to getting that phone call, and it was exciting for me, And I remember getting prepared for the interview like it was yesterday.
Okay.
And I was actually at my grandpa's house,
Yeah.
and didn't know how to tie a tie.
Okay.
I'm 20 years old.
No clip on, huh?
No clip on. So I didn't know how to actually tie a tie at the age of 20. And so I'm
Okay.
at my grandpa's house, and there he's tying my tie for me and giving me all the good advice.
Were you nervous?
Right, a little bit. Very
Okay.
nervous because, like I said, it was a big thing for me.
Yes.
I've been on a few job interviews before, but coming into AMOCO, I was actually outside of my comfort zone.
Okay.
Yeah.
And whenever you outside of your comfort zone trying to accomplish something great, greatness is going to come out
Yeah.
because you're trying, throughout those comfortable times. But having my family help prepare me, to be great was a good motivation for me.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Having them prepare for me, and then before I even left to go to the interview, they did their tradition. Let's pray before we go.
Come on now.
So
That's it.
At 20 years old, you're like, do we have to go through?
Yes.
They're like,
Yes.
just
Yes.
put me out the door. I got my time. But they went through the whole prayer part. So just going through that particular process right there
Okay.
That's
was
beautiful.
very powerful for me.
Okay.
Beautiful.
And getting the call to say that I've gotten a job to work at AMOCO,
Yeah.
it goes back to my grandparents. The prayer worked.
Yeah.
Prayer
Yeah.
works.
Yes,
Confirmation.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
I know that both of you have the what do I want to call it? I think there's something inside of both of you with the ability to want to help others. I know that both of you have worked with nonprofit organizations. I think that is something that's inside of you that drives you to want to help those. I know that you have worked with the Camberwell Foundation. I know that you've worked with Every Ribbon Tells a Story. Both awesome nonprofit organizations that are doing the thing.
Mhm.
That are serving,
Yeah.
that are doing what that are pushing forward in their mission and their vision and in those things. So tell me, how do you think it is that you came about, or when did you know? I'll ask it this way: when did you know that was a burning desire inside of you to help others?
Wow. Well, a lot of times, especially when you're in your early 20s, you're trying to figure out what it is. I know that I'm a grown man now. I got to get a job. It's got to be more to it than that.
Okay.
And what is it? And that was the thing that I wrestled with for a very short time.
Okay.
Because I was quickly able to figure out what I was here for, and that was to serve and help.
Okay.
I started coaching Little League football, and I coached it for 21 years when I started.
Okay.
And I think I was about 22 or 23, and I coached all three of my boys through it. And so what I was finding out as I was growing in the coaching arena is helping those kids get what they wanted.
Okay.
They wanted to learn. They wanted to be coached. They wanted to win. They wanted to be, more than they had been before. And my job was to coach them and get them to that point.
Okay.
And I took great pride in it.
Okay.
And I also used the same scenarios that I used from my coaches.
Okay.
And Javion was able to meet one of my high school coaches the other day when we were over at one of the churches. And, I just took those principles, those old school, that history, that stuff back there that we reference, and I brought it forward. And it helped me figure out what my personal greatness was going to be.
Okay.
I just felt like coming from coaching those kids to being part of the organizations, to even being a leader at the refinery, being a leader at the credit union. I just felt like if I help enough people get what they want, I will automatically get what I want. And that's what I did. I just said, hey, if we're going forward, we're not going to get stagnant. And everything that I've been involved in is all about momentum and moving. And I think the good Lord giving me that skill set, and all I had to do was perfect it, and keep working on it, and to make a difference, to start making some history. And so that it was pretty easy after I figured it out, what I was here for, and being involved with the different organizations, which I love every organization I've been a part of, and still a part of, and I love what I do. Yeah, I really do.
It shows. It really does.
I've actually had the opportunity to go to and meet, some of the board members on Every Ribbon Tells a Story, and to see the effort that they put into accomplishing a goal, and they're taking it serious.
Yes.
And they're handling everything professionally, and that too shows me that they care about, how this project is going to come out.
Right.
And it just drives a passion for me to help support it even more too. That to see that people in our community are trying to bring great awareness, to on health, and all the good stuff to take care of yourself, So definitely hats off to Every Ribbon Tells a Story, and the greatness that you guys are bringing into the community. The Canberra Foundation, their motivation to continue to help kids read and to make learning fun.
Yes.
They're very community involved, so we definitely appreciate what everything that the people in the community are doing. Very positive things.
And I think that shows the greatness of our community, because those two organizations that we've discussed, the Canberra Foundation and Every Ribbon Tells a Story, all right there in Galveston County. And so it just shows the community support, even in different areas of the community, or different missions. We're doing this over here and we're doing this over here, but collectively, it's just, I say all the time, if you bring your little bit, we put your little bit in the pot, and we put your little bit in the pot, and I put my little bit in the pot, we've got one heck of a gumbo. And so it's just all about the coming together, and it's the communities that are coming together, organizations within our community that are coming together to accomplish those things, to accomplish the mission and the vision and the goals. That is what the organizations are built on. This is our mission, this is our vision, this is our goal. So let's do it. And then when you can find those teams, when you can develop those teams that do all that, it's like when everybody buys into what the mission and the vision is, there's no stopping us. There's no stopping us, because it's no dead weight. Everybody's saying, okay, let's go, let's do this.
Let's pull the rope.
Yes.
Let's pull the rope.
So, let's talk a little bit about your personal business, or your personal goals, and what it is you're wanting to accomplish. Now that you are where you are, Ron, and you've accomplished all these great things, your reputation precedes you, people are pulling on you from every end, and I don't think you ever tell anybody no.
That's right.
I don't think you ever tell anybody, I just got so much on my plate, I can't do it. You figure it out and find a way to help people, and it's like you're in such great demand. What now for Ron Mullen?
Well, so that I sit back going into 2021 asking myself the same thing.
Okay.
What now? Okay. And believe it or not, and I know you won't believe, but I have moved a lot of stuff off my plate.
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Because transitioning into the older Ron Mullen, and first want to make sure I stay healthy and can keep moving. And but for business, for me, I'm always hungry for new stuff. I mean, and people do. They bring me a ton of stuff. And sometimes, and I always ask them, hey, I feel like I'm more into a consulting part of this now. Things that I've learned, and I want to share with them. But you got to be willing to listen, and that's hard for that entrepreneur when they on fire. They don't want to hear you tell them that ain't the way to go. That's the last thing they gonna do is talk to you again. It's over for you. But if they just come to me and we talk about different things, I'm gonna give them my opinion. I'm not gonna charge them for anything. I want to see everybody succeed that I help. And that's my goal, is to make sure that people succeed. Personally, for business, I help Crystal with a t-shirt business, and my sister-in-law has a business that I'm helping her with a little bit, and I'm just kind of right now I'm in the help mode. I'm not driving I'm in the background steering,
Okay.
making sure that nobody get train wrecked or
Okay.
anything.
Okay.
And I like that. I
Okay.
really do. I don't know if I would get in the front on anything at the moment, and I can't say ever, because I like to stay busy. I love to help people, and I'm very competitive. I like to get out there. I like to win.
Right.
I like for like this show. Hey, the credit union is being in the spotlight. I like that.
Yes.
Because I put a lot into this organization. I put a lot into the people. I just like to see everybody succeed. So I'm in that consulting phase now.
Okay.
It's
That
just
sounds good.
not driving a business by myself or for myself, but helping my family. My boys, bless their heart, they're the visionaries now.
Okay.
They're the ones, and what I want to do is help them.
Okay.
Be successful, and so that's where I'm throwing myself mostly.
So would you say that with your boys that you've passed the torch?
Oh yes,
Okay.
with everything. I hope they're looking at this with cooking, everything.
Okay.
But yeah, so traditionally, my parents. When I got out of school, they said, "Boy, get you a job. Go to school, get you a job, and go to work. Go to work for the next 31 years."
Okay.
And I just what I did.
Okay.
But on the flip side of that, I had the entrepreneur spirit, and I've been running. I have ran many businesses for my family, and the last 30 plus years, and my boys have been a part of it. So now, heck, if things get bad, hey man, you know how to cook a brisket, you can go sell sandwiches. You know how to make snow cone juice, you can go sell snow cones.
Okay.
So it's that thing of knowing that, hey, this ain't what I want to do, but if I got to survive, I do have skill sets that I can do, and knowledge of getting out there and doing some things, and making a way for their families.
Right.
But they both are into their own businesses and doing their thing. They're not so caught up in the 9 to 5, and
Right.
a lot of people say, man, your boys need to be working for a company or something. Well, they are a company. They're working for
That's right.
themselves,
Their
and they
own company.
always looking for a way to come together. And that's the thing that the accomplishment that would make me feel good when I pull them all together, and that's being my boys, my nieces and nephews that are entrepreneurs,
See?
because all of them were involved with us in watching the family run business, and so pulling all of them together, and they understand how powerful that is, because this pandemic has showed them that.
Oh wow.
Because they have felt the disconnect
Yes.
of not being around each other and
Yes.
feeding off of each other. Even my in-laws and my family that's around my age, when we come together, it's always that brainstorming. What's
Yes.
next? What can I do? What kind of idea, Ron, you have? And I love sharing.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so we've been kind of disconnected from that, and looking forward to this thing coming to an end so families can come back together
Right.
and finish strong.
Yeah, it's kind of like this pandemic has taught us, and I guess a good thing about the pandemic, with all of the bad stuff about the pandemic, I think that a good thing about the pandemic is it has forced us to do business a different way.
Man.
I feel like and even for me, the pandemic has stretched me beyond that thing that I'm comfortable with. Because I have a boutique. Okay, well, if we're in quarantine and we're on lockdown, there's nowhere to go. Nobody's trying to find that cute little dress. And so it has taught me to reevaluate, go back to the drawing board. Okay, how can I redo this? How can I what else is out there for me? And then it brings into play multiple streams of income.
Yes.
It brings into play, okay, this is not working right now. This is not working in our right now.
Yeah.
So I need to do something else. and even in business and this god awful pandemic, and then I hear you say, you've taught your children are watching you, and you've taught your boys, so you could either choose to give them a fish sandwich,
Mm-hmm.
or you can teach them how to fish.
That's right.
And so that's all part of the building and the stretching.
Yeah.
So Javian, you've been at AMOCO for 13 years. Where do you see yourself? And I don't mean with the AMOCO family. Where do you see yourself personally in business? If you care to share that with us,
Sure,
where
sure.
do you see yourself 5 years from now?
5 years from now, I see JV. I want to say JV.
Okay.
You can call me JV for short.
Okay.
More involved in the community, being more of a motivation
Okay.
to the community. One of my dreams is getting a group of people, young, of many different ages in our community, and get us together and clean those streets.
Oh wow.
Around neighborhoods to show, that we do care about our community.
Okay.
I was just at the florist shop, telling my vision to the guy that was ringing me up.
Okay.
And then comes another young gentleman, a few years younger than me, and he was actually paying attention to what I was saying. He said, "Whenever you start your project, let me know. I'm ready to work with you." And I also have a DBA called Know Your Worth.
What is it called again?
Know Your Worth.
Know your worth.
Mm-hmm.
Know Your Worth.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanna share, my same path of success with others, to let them know, hey, I don't care where you came from, I don't care what mistakes you've made, there's still worth in you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's still value in you.
Yeah.
And so, that's one of my big dreams.
Yeah.
And I know on today's podcast I talked about my grandparents, but I was also raised by the whole family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I also want to walk in the path of my grandparents, because they also have different homes that they own,
Okay.
rent homes, and I always get with them, like, how did y'all do that?
Yeah.
Because they always reflect back to me that they were getting paid the very minimum,
Mm-hmm.
in their houses when they were raising their families.
Mm-hmm.
And despite of that, they still found the opportunity to purchase real estate.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
So, and all that has to come with plans and preparation.
Mm-hmm.
So just to let people know, I don't care how much you're making, you still can work towards a goal.
Yeah.
You can still overcome that.
Yes.
And my grandparents have been a great example for me on that. So I also see myself in the future following that path as well.
That's
Okay.
good.
That's
really
pretty
good.
awesome. Just talk a little bit, JV, about I lost my thought. I want you to tell us a little bit about your role in children's literacy.
My role in so we're very involved with, as far as AMOCO, we're very involved with child literacy.
Okay.
Whenever it comes down to going into the schools,
Okay.
We're very active on that. We go to places, Hitchcock ISD,
Okay.
Dickinson ISD. We have the Galveston organizations that we're involved with. So we're very involved with teaching kids the basics
Okay.
of finances. Putting your coins to the side.
Right.
The basics of savings.
Right.
And to see kids, excited about, learning the basics of finances is everything for me.
Right.
So, what they learn whenever we go to the schools, and for them to go back and tell their parents, because it may not be a common thing in the household, we know that.
That's huge right there.
Yeah, it's a good feeling to know that we've done our job and we've made a positive impact. With the kids starting their school and within the community, and now they can go and share that same greatness with their parents. Whenever they come back into the credit union, hey, my kid said they spoke to you guys at the school.
Mm-hmm.
I want him to follow up on his dream of having his first $25
Yeah.
into his account.
Yeah.
That's a great feeling right there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's rewarding. It's something kind of happens on the inside when you can see your vision moving forward, and you see it working, and you seeing it being effective when that parent comes back to you and say, hey, my child talked to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you mentioned earlier about a lot of times we're not taught that. We're not taught that, and that's part of my story. I wasn't taught as a child growing up how to save, you know. But I also understand that we can't. A parent can't teach you what they don't know, you know. And so it afforded me a lot of missteps. But then when I got it,
Yeah.
you know, when I got it, and so I knew that when I got it, I had to teach it to my children, you know, and so we have this organization and we do this annual children's camp, and it's called Books, Business, and Ballers. And the whole concept behind that is oftentimes children, you hear children say, oh, I'm going to the league, I'm going to the pros, you know, and so when we talk to our children, we're like, okay, so let's just say you go to the NFL, okay, and now you've got to read this contract. Okay, that's where the importance of reading comes in, and then that's the books component of what we do. Okay, and then you have the business component of the camp, and that's where we teach children's financial literacy, because now you got to read a contract and you got to make sure your agent's not stealing all your money.
That's right.
You know, do you know where your money is going? Are you just telling somebody just take care of it for me, and you're oblivious to what's going on behind the scenes, and then it's revealed way later that your agent stole all this money from you. Look at Kevin Hart, but that's a whole nother story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then we the part that I'm most passionate about is the ballers. Is the ballers part, because in our minds, a baller has to do with a ball, a basketball, a football, a baseball. But no, that's not what we're saying. We're saying that being a baller is a mindset. It's a mindset. So you can be a baller in whatever industry.
That's right.
You know, if you're a makeup artist and you just doing that thing, you know what I'm saying? You're in beauty, you're in you're in fitness, you're in banking. I mean, whatever your industry is, that's balling. And so once we and our goal is to teach them that being a baller has nothing to do with a ball. So if we can take the books and teach them the importance of reading, not just how to read, but you can read something and not even understand what you read, or it was just words. You know, so if we can teach them the importance of reading, if we can teach them the importance of financial literacy, and we can teach them, because some people are artists. Some people have the gift of drawing, architecture, whatever it is that you can do creatively with your hands. And then when you talk about it, I told a lady the other day, I said, you know, you have people that are beauticians.
Right.
Okay, so you're a beautician or a barber, and you get your license. Okay, then you have and then you're a licensed beautician or barber, but you're not that good. Okay, then you have a beautician or a barber who is licensed, and they got that something extra. They got that. They have the gift. They have that something special. You know, and so when you put together a person who is gifted or is walking in that makes them that puts them heads and shoulders above the rest, because everybody like Ron, he has this gift of mentoring and coaching. And I think that you do it so effortlessly because it's such a part of who you are, you know, and that's why people just gravitate to you. You know, that's how people, hey Ron, let me bounce this off of you. You know, let's do some brainstorming here. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And so I think that's just all a part of teaching our children and preparing our children. You know, we want to teach children to, let's change the narrative a little bit. We're not going to say, go to college, get a good job, get married, get a home, settle down. You know, we want to teach them, start your own business. Start your own business. And even with me growing up, you know, I never had a job that I absolutely loved. You know, I worked for the post office 34 years. I hated it every day. You know, it afforded me opportunities to take care of my family,
Right.
but it wasn't something that I loved.
Mhm.
You know, and when you're doing something that you love and
Yeah.
you can make money doing something that you love,
Yeah.
that's next level right there.
That's next level.
And then you turn around and then you pull somebody, come on,
Yeah.
let me show you. Because if you're not giving back, if you're not, you know, we talked about
gotta
that
do
crab mentality. If we're not helping somebody,
Yeah.
and it's like I had a conversation with my son last night, and I was like, what God has for you, don't matter what everybody else
Don't
doing.
matter.
What God has for you is for you.
yours. It's all
You know,
yours.
yes. And so don't ever think that you're doing this one thing that nobody else is doing.
Yeah.
Because when you go to the grocery store and you grab a loaf of bread, do you just see one brand right there? You know what I'm
That's right.
saying? You see,
That's
so I mean, and the not despising. I think I'm all over the place right now, but the not despising the small beginnings
Yeah.
and not being afraid to
Yeah.
step out there and just try it.
Yeah.
You know, you can take a step, or you could just jump out there.
Yeah.
You know, and if you jump out there and you land on the clouds instead of the moon, you still in a really good place.
You're in a good place.
You're really in a good place. And so I think that it's important for us to teach our children to dream.
Yeah, that's powerful.
Yes,
You gotta
teach
have a
our
dream.
teach our children to dream. You know, and I can remember when my daughter had an opportunity to go to Paris, and I'm trying to figure out as a young mom, okay, how we gonna make this happen? Because she's not going to Paris by herself in a foreign country. And so, but I wanted the thing of it was I wanted her to see beyond Galveston County.
Yeah.
I wanted her to see there's a whole big old world
Yeah.
that's far beyond what your eyes can see.
That's right.
And if we plant that into the minds and the hearts of our children,
That's right.
so very, very young,
Yeah.
at some point they're gonna start to believe
Yeah.
that, you know what, maybe I can.
Yeah.
You know what, maybe I can. And
Yeah.
it's okay if we trip up.
Boy,
You know, it's okay if we fall a little bit, but you get up, you go back to the drawing board, and you try that thing again,
Yes, sir.
and again and again and again,
Yes.
if it takes that.
That's right.
So I just want to as we draw to a close, I want to thank you guys
Oh.
for being a part of
Thank
Tri-County Regional Black
Yes.
Chamber of Commerce Let's
Not a
Talk
problem.
Business podcast.
Yes.
It's always a pleasure, JV.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
CEO Ron Mullen. It's you know, we go a little ways back,
Yeah,
and
we do.
it's a pleasure to share this platform with you.
Yeah.
And of course, again, I want to thank our sponsors, AMOCO Federal Credit Union and Southwest Airlines.
That's beautiful.
Thank
If you are, be sure to check out our podcast. You'll also be able to check us out on YouTube on Wednesday. It'll be low, so you'll be able to see the audio part of it.
Okay.
You'll be able to see the audio part of it, and so you can always go to Tri-County Regional Black Chamber of Commerce to our website, which is tcbcc.org. That's tcbcc.org. Check us out there for more information if you're interested in becoming a part of our chamber family, because like AMOCO, we are definitely a family.
That's right.
We're very hands-on. We're not your traditional 8 to 5 chamber. We work on weekends, we work early, and we work late. So again, I want to thank you for coming today to be on our Let's Talk Business podcast. February, we're beyond February being Black History Month, because
Way
we realize Black history and history in itself is being made daily.
That's right.
So thank you all for being a guest,
Well,
and
thank
we
you.
look forward to having you next time.
That's
Right.
right. We look
That's a
forward to it as
beautiful
well.
thing.
Absolutely, it's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing.
That's a beautiful
It's a
thing.
beautiful thing. Okay.